Coming live from the 706 is DraftKings Powerhour featuring Tom Dimitrov and Billy Hill, helping you to ram that crown.
What's up, guys? Welcome to DK Power Hour. I'm Tom. This is Billy beside me. Just looking at those next five matchups on week 5. Go ahead and just jump right into it. Anything you want. We did put a show up yesterday. Something happened with the audio. We're going to re-record it, get it back out to you guys so you don't miss anything on those 5 games. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. Totally probably my fault. No problem. I'll take the blame.
Deadbeat.
I am a deadbeat, so things work out that way usually with them, right? Yep. So, anyways, let's just jump into the matchups. Continue on. Another 1 o'clock game tomorrow. We got the Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Love it.
A lot of action on this one. Over under 49.5. Saints around 27 or 22. Eagles 27. Somewhere in there. I think it can be high scoring than this, to tell you the truth.
Possibly.
That Saints defense isn't that great. I tell you, at 6,000, I love Sam Bradford this week. He struggled the last couple weeks. Turned it on last half, second half against the Redskins last week. Started getting the deep ball going a little bit. Look for him to have a huge game this week. And then your brother, DeMarco Murray, can't get anything going. Don't really like him in this situation. They seem better without him in the lineup when they played Ryan Matthews and Darren Sproles those couple weeks. But
Can't
he's
do that
going
when
to
you're
get the
paying
touches.
that.
Yeah, it's 6,200. Not going to be paying up for him. On the other side, we got Drew Brees at 7,200. He actually was a delightful surprise last week, even after all these injuries of possibly having they made it seem like his shoulder had ripped off and that he wasn't going to ever be able to throw again. And he came out and had a pretty nice week last week against Dallas. But then again, who hasn't had a nice week against Dallas, it seems like. And then Mark Ingram, another nice week. C.J. Spiller got in the mix. He had almost 100 yards total in the game, but 80 of that came on one play. So still at 3,800, it doesn't look as great as it was. It's one play, all of his yards. If that's what you're banking on, then go for it at 3,800. But for the most part, not really looking forward to it. Anything you want to add in on that?
Eagles' pass defense is horrendous. We've talked about the funnel defense they play. Byron Maxwell, I think, was just a product of the system in Seattle. He's just really not that good of a cornerback. So I've actually found myself putting Brandon Cooks in a bunch of lineups I've been making for his price, 59.
Yeah.
I like his upside. But on this other side, I've also seen Jordan Matthews in a bunch of my lineups. I've actually had those two together a lot in a lot of lineups.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. I think a lot of points will be scored here. I like Bradford with Matthews as a nice little matchup. And then Snead, I've been putting in the flex a ton. I've been playing Owen Daniels and Snead as my tight end flex. And I'm only spending $5,700 there. And then I'm playing like a defense under 3K. And I'm able to load up. Because of that, I've been able to make a bunch of lineups with just like 2 of the stud running backs. Yeah. So I feel really good. I like Snead and PPR, like this is 1 point. He's not going to score touchdowns really, but he might catch 8-10 balls. Really might. So he catches 8 balls.
Yeah,
for 60 yards, so that's 14 points.
Yeah, he's definitely taken over for. He's definitely taken that other side, the other side of the field away from Coleman.
Yep.
Marquise Colston pretty much has moved into deadbeat material. Yeah, I mean he's getting the opportunities and he's starting to produce a little bit. And at $3,000, huge upside there. Definitely a nice little sneaky GPP play. But on the other hand, I expect a lot of people to be on that. Probably going to have high ownership at that price. I don't know. I still don't.
I beg to differ, in all honesty. Like, Willie Snead's virtually an unknown. I mean, if you watch the game the other night, you know about him. But, I mean, people like us will be on him.
Yeah.
But I still don't think his ownership will be, like, super high. Like, I think people will not go down to 3,000. And then if they do, they're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? So, I beg to differ a little bit with you on that one. But I don't know if I like Ingram this week or Spiller. Eagles, horrible pass defense, but really good run defense.
Yeah, the running backs in this game don't really do anything for me. Love Jordan Matthews at 6,400. Yeah. He's still getting a bunch of targets, even when they are struggling or he hasn't really produced. But, I mean, 2 of his 3 games, he's gone 20-plus points. Or 2 of his 4 games, he's gone 20-plus points at that receiving slot. So I like him at 64.
Oh, yeah.
Paired up with Sam Bradford at 6. You're not really losing on that situation. Either defense, are you interested? Saints at 22. No, not gonna shoot it.
Well,
2,200.
What I said to you yesterday, big sack if you play him. But
Yeah.
I mean, it opens up so much for you, but they're going to probably get 0 points for them, to be completely honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Both defenses, I think, in this case, will not be scoring many points. Eagles at 3,000, way overpriced. A lot better value around there, and so on. All right, moving on. Seattle at Cincinnati. Bengals favored by 3. They're at home, so really it's a pick'em game.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gaining 3 points no matter what at home. Total 43, something like the Bengals 23, Seahawks 20. Russell Wilson has scored 15 or more points in every game he's played this year. You like that tag at 6,900?
I'm almost on full up fade of this game, if you want to be completely honest. You're looking at 2 of the better defenses, low over under. I feel like the upside is capped in the guys that have high upside.
Yeah.
And there's so much more fantasy gold out there that, I mean, if you want to be contrarian and try to, fade the rest of the field, I mean, you got to play this game.
Well, I think it's a little underestimated how good the Bengals defense is. They're still giving up almost 300 yards a game. They've given up 2 touching passing touchdowns in a game. Every game this year. I don't think it's as good as it looks. And Russell Wilson's doing a little bit more. Jimmy Graham's starting to get involved. Doug Baldwin had a nice game last week against Detroit. I understand you're saying a lot of people fade, but the good thing is Russell Wilson can run also. He scored at least 15 points in every matchup, every game this year. I like Russell Wilson against this Bengals defense. You saw Alex Smith. What did he do last week? 300-plus yards passing. Alex Smith did that. Tell me about it. Your brother, Alex Smith, who can't throw a ball farther than 5 yards down the field, threw for 359 yards. I like Russell Wilson in this situation. On the other hand, the only thing that's really hindered the Seahawks is kind of that tight end flex. But the problem with Tyler Eifert, what has he done the last 3 weeks? Nothing.
He got the Oakland Raiders bump first week.
Yeah. He got that 3 touchdowns, 100-plus yards. He only has 200 yards receiving on the season and hasn't caught another touchdown pass. He's fallen into deadbeat material. Everybody taught how great he was, looked like Gronk. Hasn't done anything since. So
I'm definitely not paying $4,600 for him.
What about the running backs in this situation? Jeremy Hill, Gio Bernard.
The only one that interests me a little bit is Bernard.
Bernard at 48. But then again, Bernard falls. Here, let me ask you this. Bernard or TJ Yeldon?
Yeldon.
TJ Yeldon. What about Bernard or, say, Booby Dixon goes?
Booby Dixon.
Booby Dixon. Dion Lewis or Gio Bernard?
Dion Lewis.
Both at 4,800. There's no way I'm playing Gio Bernard over one of those guys. I totally agree with that. Well, we'll get to one in the next, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. Moving on. Anything else you wanted to say about that game? Not much excitement here. Maybe Russell Wilson, like I talked about, sneaky play. Probably have low ownership on the road.
To me, there's so many more better quarterbacks this week than Wilson.
You heard it there. All right, moving on. Rams at Packers. Guy that's going up and beyond his value right now and projected to have a nice game. Todd Gurley at 4,300. You're already getting almost 4 times his value based on his projections. But the thing that scares me, are the Packers just going to are they just going to dominate the Rams and it's going to turn into they're going to have to throw the ball to get back in this and Todd Gurley just won't get the touches he needs?
I would like Todd Gurley a lot more if this game was in St. Louis.
In St. Louis?
Because I think the game flow would play more to them. I think that the defense might make another extra 2 or 3 stops. The offense might get a touchdown. I just feel like they could play the game into their hands more.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, Aaron Rodgers at home
is
literally unstoppable. He hasn't thrown an interception since 2002 at home.
Yeah.
The Rams defense is good, but they're not as good as everybody thought they were this year.
Yeah.
And they've been getting torched some this year. Yeah, I think Todd Gurley becomes a game flow issue.
Yeah.
This game.
But on the other side of that, I kind of like Tavon Austin at 4,300. If it does turn into the game flow, Foles got to throw the ball a bunch. I do like the opportunities that Tavon Austin can have in this game to play catch up. So
what about Stedman Bailey? What's the price on him?
Stedman Bailey? Not sure. It's got to be under. Is he going to play this week?
I think so. Is he not?
He could be. I can't find him.
If Stedman Bailey is like 3 or 3-1 or something, I almost would be tempted to play him as the wide receiver from this game. I don't know. I just
3,000.
He scored a touchdown last week, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna be, if they get down like is possible, they're gonna go 3-4 wide. Yeah. Stedman Bailey has potential to put up big games, and he has in the past. Very inconsistent, so he's GPP only, but I don't. Austin's just such a gadget player to me. So like he could get you 25 points, or he could get you none.
Yeah.
Like Bailey, I feel like they're going to target him if they get down.
I think Tavon Austin has the higher upside. He's more explosive, has a chance to maybe catch one of those reverses, end arounds, and take it for 80 yards, and then return a punt for another touchdown. He's more explosive. Stedman Bailey, he's to me touchdown dependent. Hasn't really. Stedman Bailey 3 targets last week, 1 before that, 4 the week before. So, but let's jump to the other side. Aaron Rodgers, Eddie Lacy, Randall Cobb, James Jones. I mean, you can almost put all 4 of these.
I think any one of them. I honestly think the whole team's in play, especially their defense. I actually love. That's the other thing. Like their defense is a lot better this year, and I don't think people are taking notice. Like this is one of my favorite defenses to play this week.
Yeah.
Nick Foles. Here's the thing you got to understand about Nick Foles. Like Nick Foles is not a great quarterback. He is very dependent upon the long ball, and if it's clicking, he's doing well.
Yeah.
But when you get in a game where you get down quickly early, that becomes predictable, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like Foles is going to throw 2 or 3 picks this game.
You know, the Packers have blown out a couple teams, and actually, you know, they're giving up less than 200 yards a game.
Yeah.
And they've only given up 4 or 5 touchdown passes. They've actually been kind of weak against the run. So that's why I do see Todd Gurley, the possibility of having a good game. But like we talked about, game flow scares me about Todd Gurley. I do like the price tag at 43, but it just scares me, that game flow.
Yeah.
And on the other side, Aaron Rodgers, like we said, Cobb, Jones, Lacy.
Is Rodgers your favorite play this week?
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
At quarterback?
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. It's 1-2. It's 1A, 1B. I mean, but I still think Aaron Rodgers at home, he's good for 2 or 3 touchdowns.
That's the thing about it, man. At home, like, I just love him so much at home. Like, I loved him a lot last week, but I should have been like, well, everybody's going to be on him. He's on the road. He's not at. I mean, he's still good on the road.
Yeah.
But dude, like, the dude is literally unstoppable at home.
Yeah.
So he's
Cash
303. At home, he's 303.
Every cash game, I'll have him and Tom Brady as my quarterback.
Yeah.
All my 50-50s. That's who I'll be playing. And then in the GPPs, there's a couple guys down the lower tier. Blake Bortles, guys like that, Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota, that I'm going to be playing in those GPP matches.
See, actually, I like Rodgers I like him maybe better. I kind of have a different take on the cash versus the GPP. I kind of go the other way, I think. I think there's those guys down there that actually make a little bit better cash game plays because I think they're kind of safe. Like, I think Tyrod Taylor's kind of safe. I think Mariota's kind of safe. And I think you could play them and get 15 plus from them, and then you could load up more safety at wide receiver. So, like, Rodgers, like, I'm playing him in a GPP because he's expensive, but I think the ownership's going to be lower because of that. Like, he'll be higher in cash games.
Yeah.
And maybe play some of those lower guys we talk about wide receiver that people won't be on. So I'm kind of taking the reverse approach, I think.
Interesting. All right, moving on. Next game, Arizona at Detroit. I'm kind of fading this game. I don't really like Arizona on the road. The Lions don't care for anybody. One interesting play. Tim Wright at tight end. 2,500.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No?
No? I kind of like Tim Wright at 2,500 for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you this. Soon as Ebron got hurt, the first thing that popped in my head is, should I go pick up Tim Wright in my fantasy, like my season-long leagues? Like,
yeah.
Then I go, it's Tim Wright, and he's been hyped for 3 years now, and he's pooped. You know, he's nothing. And He got one catch last week on and one target. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just going to spend $200 more and play the Oakland Raiders game. Like, Owen Daniels versus the Oakland Raiders. It's like, if I'm paying down, I'm paying for what I know is guaranteed against the Raiders, which is a touchdown or two. And, you know, I don't know. If you want to be contrarian, it opens up a lot for you. I mean, what are your expectations for Tim Wright?
In this matchup, not very well. I mean, the only thing that got me was the $2,500 price tag. It seems that and the other thing is, Ebron was getting a bunch of targets when he was in there.
Yeah.
And that's what I do like is that was open for the tight end because of the Amir Abdullah coming out of the backfield, Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate. The tight end was open in that offense, and $2,500 maybe sneaks in, gets 6 targets, has a nice little day, and I don't know.
You know who I like this week, and it started to come around last week. They were looking for him. I mean, almost won the game for him. Patrick Patterson's overrated. I think that secondary on Arizona's overrated. I think his ownership's going to be low because he hasn't been doing everything that everybody expects this year. There's guys around his price that are probably better. I like Calvin Johnson this week. I do.
It's about time he does something.
Call it a gut-feeling hunch, but I think we're going to see a vintage Calvin Johnson game this week. I just do. 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Especially after fumbling on the 1-yard line.
I just feel like they can't run the ball, man. Like Detroit can't run the ball. I'm sorry, they're the worst running team in the league. Like just
worst
stop.
offensive line in the league.
Just stop. Just take 3 drops. Throw the ball, Calvin Johnson. Let him do his thing.
Anybody else?
Do you like the Cardinals D?
Cardinals D at 3,800.
I like them.
Yeah.
I think they're better. I think if you're looking to save at defense, then don't pay up for them. But if you have a lineup you really like and you have around 4,000 left, I think they're a lock for one of your better lineup, one of your better defenses this week. Just pricey at 3,800.
All right, Denver Broncos, Oakland Raiders. Love the receivers and quarterback for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I love Latavius Murray.
This is why I wouldn't take Wilson. I would much rather take Manning at the same price.
Yeah.
So.
Last year, Manning just lit up the Raiders at Oakland. Actually, C.J. Anderson had his coming out party that game too, but
he has it again this week.
That was his coming out and going home party because he has not done anything. Your boy that you just love at 5,300 he's a deadbeat.
I will play him this week. I will play him.
C.J. Anderson?
I will play him this week.
Ronnie Hillman at 4,900. Sounds like he's going to get more of the carries he deserves.
I will be playing him this week as well. I do have lineups for both of them in it. I love this Broncos offense this weekend.
Yeah. Love Demaryius Thomas in this matchup. I'm going to keep playing him until he scores a touchdown because it's going to happen.
We're always talking about law of averages. Yeah. It's going to be like a 3-touchdown league.
At some point, it's going to catch up to his totals. Peyton Manning at 7,000. Love him. Paired up with Demaryius Thomas. And Owen Daniels at 2,700. Absolutely love.
And I love the Broncos D.
And I love what tight ends have done against the Raiders.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about it.
Yeah, and that's a very well-known fact. Broncos D at 3,600. Yeah, I think this is going to be a little coming down to earth for the Raiders this week.
And we're done. I don't want to talk about a single Raider.
I like Latavius Murray because that's where the Broncos are weak. But he does have the shoulder injury. Say he doesn't play. What about Marcel Reese at 3,000?
Yeah,
they use him in the passing game.
Yeah.
They're going to be down. Can he get a bunch of targets?
Maybe. I don't know. He's really risky. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe Dixon or Marcel at 3,000. They're the same price.
Or I might be pairing both of them up.
I think you shoot yourself in the foot at that point.
You think?
Yeah. It's too much. It just scares me too much to put both of them in a lineup.
So, all right. As always, our website, check it out. Social media. Check us out tomorrow. We'll be back with another show, and we'll put out 2 today to make up for the one that the audio did not work. But as always, keep ramming that crown and have a good one. See you guys.